Well, that's a loaded question. I guess it depends on who you ask. I've had my griddle for 3 years, so I'll give you 3 pros, 3 cons to owning a griddle so you can figure out if it's the right purchase for you and your family. Full disclosure, this YouTube channel here, I do just usually cook on the griddle. That's what my channel's about. So, you know, I like to be honest. I don't work for any of these griddle companies. I'm not like trying to sell you a griddle or anything. Just if you do get one, maybe you'll watch my videos and I'll help you learn how to use it. And then I'll make more money and buy more beer through you watching my YouTube videos. So I just like to be upfront about it. You know what I mean? Not like scammy, like I'm trying to sell you some brand of griddle. I don't care. But let's start with a con first. Con number 1 is it is not a grill. You are not getting that smoke fire flavor. I bring this up because I happen to be the owner of a Big Green Egg here. This lovely thing, and behind it is my just gas grill. I don't have a pellet grill, it's just gas grill. But you know, I like charcoal as much as the next guy, to be honest with you. I love the flavor that comes from it. I love the smoke. So you're not going to get that from a griddle. It's a different experience if you're trying to do ribs or brisket or, you know, anything along those lines, pork butt. That's not what the griddle's for, which seems kind of obvious, but I would just say it just in case. And you're gonna get a different flavor. So you like your steaks or your dogs or your burgers over charcoal, over that open flame, you're not gonna get the same flavor on the griddle. You're gonna get a different flavor, you're gonna different style. I don't know if it's better or worse, but if like that's your jam, you're not gonna get that. And there's a time and a place for that. Hence, like I said, why I have my Big Green Egg. So I do like the smoke meat every day, but you know, that's not what the griddle's for. So that's kind of the first con, which is really a preference thing, not a huge deal. The first pro is breakfast. Just breakfast. I mean, is there much else? Bacon and eggs, man. What else do I got to sell you on? Like, it's delicious. It's wonderful. You can now do it outside on a griddle with a big flat surface. You can do a lot of it. You can feed a lot of people breakfast. And I mean, it's not just bacon and eggs. It's basically everything that you can get at a diner, you can get and make on your griddle outside. And I mean, if you like cooking outside, I assume you do if you're watching this video, and you're used to just grilling dinner and lunches and cookouts and holidays. I'm telling you, man, there's nothing better than Sunday morning, pouring yourself a cup of coffee, put it on a wire rack on the griddle, and just making your family breakfast. Like just pancakes, bacon, eggs. Maybe you want to do omelets, hash brown omelets, French toast. I just did a live shoot where I did some challah French toast, which is like super good, and I was able to make a bunch of it on here for Mother's Day. And I mean, it's breakfast. I love breakfast, diner style American breakfast. That is my favorite thing. It brings back memories of going to breakfast with my dad after golf. I mean, it's just, I don't know. I think diner breakfast is one of the most American things there is, and it's one of the things that I love the most about having a griddle. The next con is the learning curve. I'm going con pro. I'm going back and forth here, so it's just not so depressing or so high up. Try to keep it even keeled, okay? There's a learning curve. I mean, there's a learning curve with everything you cook on. There's like, you're not going to get a new pan or something or oven and not, you know, learn how to use it. But the griddle is just, it's different than a grill. So if you've used a lot of grills, you've used a lot of smokers, you know, you're a big like barbecue guy or gal or whatever, there is a little bit of a learning curve. It's not just get it as hot as you can and throw food down. That's going to end up being probably no bueno when you burn some eggs and stuff. But I don't think it's too much. I mean, I'd say it's like, it's worth it in my opinion. Again, I'm probably slightly biased, but I do want to be upfront that like you do have to put some effort in. If you get this, it's not just like it was if you've done a grill your whole life. I mean, it's close. It's really close. It's not that hard. But you know, if you just want to throw burgers down, fine. Just turn it on medium low, throw burgers down. But if you're trying to do breakfast, you want to get the different temps and stuff. It's why I always recommend a thermometer, an infrared thermometer, like a gun, or this one's a gun. You can point this down, and it's also pops out, so it's a probe. But you can just get a gun one if you want. That's why I always recommend getting one of those if you get a griddle, because you know, you just got to kind of learn what to do. I mean, it's not, I'm trying to think where it's at. Like on the scale of like doing stuff at home, from like just hanging a picture on the wall to like trying to put new string in the weed whacker, that's the AC unit. Thanks. It's like in the middle. It's in the, like, I don't know why. I have no idea how to put string in a weed whacker. I've been like, I'm a grown man, I'm 40 years old. I shouldn't be saying this on film. It's embarrassing. If someone knows, tell me. I cannot do it. And you're supposed to tap it and then it releases more string, and it never works for me. I don't know. Like, I can't do it. But I can hang a picture, you know? I can definitely hang a picture. And it's just a little harder than that once you learn it. Look at the size of this surface here. Wow. That brings us to our next pro. Oh, we're running low on beer here. They're both empty. Meal prep. You really can prep a lot of meals on this. I did like a ground beef meal prep with a 5-pound log, and I got like all sorts of stuff out of it, different meals out of it, chili and whatnot, sloppy joe. So you can do chicken. I'm getting ready to do a meal prep video, so that's something I'm working on, is getting more meal prep and trying to save us time during the week by utilizing this giant surface area and doing like a couple chicken breasts and then some veggies and then maybe some rice or maybe some ground beef, or egg roll in a bowl, which is like a keto thing that's actually a really good meal that you can make on here. It's super easy. So I mean, meal prep is definitely something you can do. You can do meal prep with a grill. You can definitely do it with a pellet grill. I know people that have. I don't know if you're gonna get veggies on there. You don't have the flat surface. I don't know if you're gonna do some rice. You're definitely not gonna do something like egg roll and bowl or fried rice. I've just done like a big fried rice, and it's like gave us a couple lunches during the week, dinner that night, a couple lunches during the week. So meal prep is definitely a positive that I've done, and I'm trying to do more over the 3.5 years of on this griddle. The final con is probably seasoning, cleaning, and rust. Let's take a look at my griddle. It's not perfect. I'm not perfect. I hate to break that to you guys. You may have thought that I was, but I'm not. Let's look at this. So you're gonna have to season it and clean it, and then you're gonna get some rust spots. You're gonna get some peeling that eventually you'll have to like scrape this whole thing down with a gray brick. It's a pumice stone brick, and kind of re-season it. You can see over here in the corners, they usually get kind of grody and nasty. There we go, the camera's got it now. So it's just part of owning a griddle, that there's seasoning and cleaning. And overall, it's I think it's a little more upkeep than a grill or a Kamado or a pellet grill. I don't own a pellet grill. Maybe there's more work to that. I know you got to clean the ash trap or tray out, and or the dump tray where the ash goes and stuff. But yeah, you got to season it initially, and then if you get a rust spot, you might have to re-season it like once a year. You can just use the pumice stone, or you can take it all the way down, strip it all the way down with a wire wheel and re-season the whole thing. And so yeah, that's a little something that's a little different, because if you don't have the seasoning, then your food starts to stick and it's not non-stick anymore, and that's the whole point. You're building seasoning. This is a cast iron pan. Think of it as a very large cast iron pan. So you got to keep your seasoning. Maybe you have experience with that. You know, it's just a little work, but it's worth it. The only difference is you're now keeping it outside. So you got to watch out for the rain and the weather. Winter time, what are you going to do? Or you can take the top off and bring it inside. You could wheel the whole thing in the garage, or maybe you just put one of the orange mats on there in the cover and just, you know, wait till next year and see what you walk out to. So it's not a deal breaker, obviously, for me. It's a little bit of work. Anything that's good in this world, I think, is worth a little bit of work. But again, full disclosure, that's something a little different than what we're used to with your regular old gas grill, charcoal grill, smoker, stuff like that. Finally, the last thing, in my humble opinion, the best part about having a griddle is the versatility. I think it's the most versatile piece of outdoor cooking equipment there is. I do think it is, I don't think it's like a temporary thing like the Instapot. No offense if you have an Instapot, I just feel like that kind of faded off. I think it's here to stay. It's in every commercial kitchen, so I don't think it's overrated in that sense. It can cook so much stuff. It's in every diner. You can do smash burgers, breakfast, omelets, fajitas, fried rice, cheesesteaks. I mean, this just quesadillas, the list goes on. And you know, all these things, pancakes, French toast, all the stuff that you can't do on a regular grill. But then you can still do the burgers, dogs, chicken. You can still do all that. So, you know, that's why I think it's the best. And paired with the versatility is that now there's a lot of stuff you were doing inside that you can do outside. If you just want a pound of bacon and you're making it for the week because you're going to have BLTs later or something like that, and you just make it on the griddle instead of doing it inside in a pan or in the oven, it's worth like every penny to not have your whole house covered in grease as it like lifts up out of the cast iron and out of the oven, or smell like bacon. And look, I love the smell of bacon. I would love it if our house smelled like bacon every day, but my wife, not so much. She doesn't so much like that lingering smell all the time. So I mean, all the grease, all the stuff you're cooking inside, you can cook pretty much all of it outside. It's still, you're gonna have to carry it outside. It's a little work, I'm not gonna lie to you. You gotta prep ahead, you gotta bring stuff outside, you gotta carry it. So it's not like right at your disposal like it is inside, and there's different cabinets with your stuff and your fridges right there. But I still think it's worth it in the long run. I do. I think I enjoy it. You have to want to do the seasoning, and you have to be okay with the cleaning. And it's not going to replace the smoke flavor. You're not going to get that. So, that's my honest review after 3.5 years. But obviously, I enjoy it. That's what my whole YouTube channel is about. So no, I don't think it's overrated. I don't think it's a trend. I think it's like air fryers. I think are close. I don't think they're necessarily a trend. I think they're here to stay. They're going to mold, and I think you're going to see smaller ovens that are like oven air fryer combo type things. I'm way off subject now. That's just my opinion. But griddles, yeah, they're trying to do griddle grill combos. It's become very, very popular. It's going to be as popular as the gas grill. If you're comparing it straight to a gas grill, I think it's better, and it's going to be just as common as that. If you're comparing it to a smoker or a charcoal grill, well, it's a different flavor, so I don't know. It depends what you're looking for on that. But no, that's my answer. I don't think they're overrated. I love mine. I enjoy using it. If you're still on the fence about getting one or want some more ideas of what you can cook, check out this video. This is my top 10 favorite things to cook on the griddle. Gives you kind of some inspiration and some ideas of what you can make.